String of Dolphins, and this is scientifically named as Senecio peregrinus. I love histories and stories, so a little about what I have read on String of Dolphins. This species was first documented by August Griesbach in 1879. He named this as Senecio peregrinus from the Latin word which is called dolphin. It's like cute little dolphins jumping from the wine. During 1990s, Charles Jeffrey revised this species into genus Dendrophorbium after several studies and tests. Although many believe that this is a cultivar which is a crossbreed from Senecio rollinus, which is string of pearls, and also Senecio articulatus, which is also called candle plant. So it is a crossbreed between that. Some believe that. So I'm not sure which story is true, but it's always interesting to dig into the facts, at least some facts, and know a little history about this plant. This plant requires very low maintenance, and also it is very easy plant for beginners. These are the spent flowers, and once they bloom, they open up like that and they become fluffy like this. The string of dolphins is in full of blooms and they're all spent flowers, so it's important to prune them. Let's get started. My plant is all crowded in this little pot. Look at the beautifully curved leaves. They protrude from the stemmed vine and they look like little dolphins jumping from it. That's why it's called String of Dolphins. As you can see, it's again in bloom. It's getting, I have removed all the spent blooms from this plant, and now this will start to rebloom again. So we are giving space for new blooms now by taking the spent flowers off. When it comes to lighting, lighting is one of the most important factors, and it requires plenty of indirect sunlight. Although splashes of morning sun and evening sun is definitely beneficial for the lush leaves and for the flowering season, but definitely make sure no direct sunlight. And also, this doesn't require direct sunlight. You can always consider placing it indoors and growing it indoors. So I have one plant indoors in the east side of the windowsill, and now this is the one from cuttings. I'm growing this one from the cuttings, but this is doing really good because this sits in the northeast direction. So this gets plenty of indirect sunlight, and this is outdoors. And when it comes to temperatures, they prefer cooler temperatures. So what I mean by cooler temperatures is it's between from 58 degrees to 76 degrees Fahrenheit, or 15 degrees to 26 degrees Celsius. That's the ideal temperatures, but never let this plant sit outside below 15 degrees Celsius. Otherwise this will die because it can't tolerate colder temperatures. And when it comes to watering, because this is a crowded plant, I can't do finger tests to check the soil, but sometimes I make sure I just try to lift the plant from the handle here, and if it is heavy, it feels heavy, then I would leave it probably a week or so to let the water completely dry, because less is more when it comes to watering for this plant. And when it feels light, and you'll also see the leaves become a little bit wilted, and then it's a sign that it needs water. And once you water the plant, it will revive again. So if you overwater this plant, definitely the roots will rot, and it can't handle overwatering. Fertilizers, basically cactus fertilizers, and I usually feed this once a month, or maybe every 2 months, once in every 2 months, and I do cacti feed, so it will thrive. And when the plant reaches its maturity and it has the ideal properties like good sunlight, good feed and everything, then this will bloom in spring. So I had first bloom for this one. This is, even though this is the cuttings from the mother plant, this has bloomed because of the conditions. It is sitting outside. We live in Florida, so it is zone 9 weather, and it's perfect, but definitely make sure it is in the shade, and it will bloom. And again, this is the second time I am seeing tiny little buds on the plant, so hopefully in few weeks I'll see more blooms. Because they are not deep rooted, they like to be in kind of, to keep the moisture levels, they like to be crowded, so make sure the pot is smaller, and it is easily propagated from cuttings, but I don't think you can propagate them from leaves. Even if you plant the leaf, probably leaf will root, but it won't definitely develop into like vines or strings. So the correct way to propagate is it from cuttings or by seeds. But seeds, I am not sure how successful it would be. But if you get hold of any, either in the garden stores or at your friend's place, then definitely ask for cuttings. So with the cuttings, you can definitely propagate this one, and you yourself can give gift to your friends and relatives. Choose a healthiest vine which is damage free, and also the leaves look plumpier over there. The roots are coming up from those nodes, then that's a good indication that if that is in the soil, it will root. So we need to make sure these leaves are gone. Gently take all the older leaves, at least to 5 inches. Important to make sure these are not sitting in the soil, otherwise they rot. That's why we are taking these leaves off. There are tiny roots coming from there, from the nodes. So when this goes into the soil, it will root. Now, the soil I'm using is well draining potting mix, or you can use the cacti soil as well, that is suitable for cactus. And now I'm going to coil the vine. Just place this vine into the soil at the end where the root is, and coil the vine. Maybe I'll leave this one because this is kind of lengthy, so I just pot it down like that. So this becomes into, and I have many vines. So if you have only one cutting, then you can coil this around the plant, and every node will develop into root, and you will have shoots from there. But I have lots of cuttings here from this plant, so I'm going to just make sure, just coil them like that and pin them down like that firmly, so that it touches the soil, it will start to root. For each vine, make sure there are leaves on it, because they need leaves for photosynthesis. And also the pot I am taking is terracotta pot, as terracotta has the water absorbing properties, so excess water will be absorbed in this pot. And also make sure there is a drainage hole underneath the pot. And whenever you see the soil is dry in the next few days, just top it up with water, and then place it in the either in the, if the temperatures are above 18 degrees and below 26 degrees then Celsius, then it is ideal to leave them outside. And if the temperatures are not that if they are either cold or it's too hot, then bring it indoors. It will root in probably 1 to 2 weeks, and you will see it will survive. This one right here is the indoor plant, String of Dolphins. I'm just showing you how it looks like when there is lack of light. I mean, it has plenty of light here, but the one outside is thriving. And look at the dolphins, the tiny little sized dolphins here. The size of the dolphins has reduced, but I like the shape here. That's why I just left it on this windowsill. if your string of dolphins don't receive enough sunlight, what happens is the leaves turn flat. They won't be curled anymore, because that's the indication. When the leaves are turning flat like that, that's the indication that your string of dolphin needs light. And once it is to that stage, you can't revive that, but definitely the new shoots coming up, if you make sure there is plenty of light, then they will start to develop into dolphin shapes like that. This is considered as poisonous to pets, so just make sure if it is indoors, your pets don't reach them. Hope this video was helpful, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.